Hello, everyone. Thanks for listening to the Grow Your Life podcast. My name's Jeremiah Krakowski, and if we haven't met before, I've been helping business owners for the last 18 years build their businesses to 6, 7, and even 8 figures, and that's what I love to help people do. And I know that it takes more than just business strategies. There's personal development, mindset tweaks. When we combine business strategies, marketing, sales, and mindset, personal development, people skills, communication skills, that's what's going to help you grow a business to that 6-figure mark, go from 6 figures to 7 figures and 7 to 8 figures. And that's what I love to help people do when I'm coaching them. That's what I love to help the listeners of this podcast do, is to give you one tip, trick, or strategy to do this. There's over 100, almost 120 episodes of this podcast now for you to listen to that you can check out the Grow Your Life podcast. So be sure to listen to some of the other episodes, scroll through and see which ones have impacted you. And if this podcast has helped you, share it with somebody. Please let some other people know this. Don't hold it back. Don't hold it into yourself. That's one thing that you could do to give back to me if this has helped you in any way, is to share it with somebody. Be sure to join the hashtag Grow Your Life Facebook group as well. There's over 1,500 people just like yourself that are growing in their business, and you can ask any question in that group. There's no stupid questions. It's a safe place for you to get guidance, to get wisdom on what to do in your business at any stage that you're at. There's somebody in there that can help you and answer your questions. And it's part of a community that I'm building to help people. It's completely free on Facebook, called the Grow Your Life Community. If you haven't checked out any of my courses, Irresistible Offers That Sell, it's all about creating sales offers that get more sales for you. Social media ads that work. It's all about finding more customers with social media ads. Now, today, we're going to talk about how to take your business to the next level when you have reached a certain level of success, to stay motivated, to stay consistent at doing the work, to not fizzle out when you have done some work and then you finally stop, and to stay tenacious at moving forward every single day. I think that I'm somebody in my business, if you look at how many podcast episodes I've had, how long I've been doing things, the daily content that I put out there, my courses, my trainings, I stay consistent at showing up. And so you can trust that I'm here to support you along your way as you build a business, to come alongside you. If you ever need help, you can reach out. You can DM me. You can schedule a free 15-minute call with me. I'm here to talk about how to take you to that next level. If you're somebody that's building a business, you need to stay consistent with your activities, even when you don't feel like doing it. And one of the biggest things that's going to motivate you to do that is by focusing and changing your reasons why you do things. The reasons why you show up every single day. Are your reasons why just to hit a goal? A goal needs to be your starting place, not your finish line. And yet many people are starting with a mindset that is counterintuitive to their goals and counter against the possibility of them sustaining themselves long term in their business by making their goal be the end of everything, the end. Once they reach that goal, they're done, and then they sit back. The truth is that you want your goal to be a doubling down moment, a moment for you when you double down on what got you there. You don't stop doing those things. You stay consistent further, and that's why having vision that's bigger than yourself, vision that's bigger than just what you see right now, is so important. A vision that's bigger than just paying your bills. A vision that's bigger than just that goal. What's your next goal and your next goal? Keeping that in mind while you're doing things. Making a lot of money is never going to be enough to sustain you in your business as a business owner, because you're going to reach that level of money that you want to make, and then you will almost always fizzle back to your comfort zone. And so we have to expand our comfort zone. We have to expand what feels comfortable for us by having our reason why we're doing it be bigger than just our personal feelings, be bigger than just our personal desires, be bigger than just our personal will to reach a goal. That's what's going to sustain you to keep moving forward. And when you fizzle back down, it's usually because once you reach that goal level, you don't know where to go from there. And so you fall back into a comfort zone. And so if we can plan for success by keeping a vision that's bigger than ourselves, that's bigger than just our next goal, that's going to sustain you to go further. The businesses that I know that go to 7 figures and 8 figures, they see on the horizon bigger than just that sales revenue goal, that pitch, that launch, that moment where they put themselves out there. If you're putting all your eggs in the one basket of launching something and launching a campaign and putting something out there and it producing a result, listen, for one, if it doesn't produce a result, you're going to really double down on your depression and your disappointment. And that's what I see a lot of people end up doing is they are trying to avoid things not going bad for them. And then when they don't go how they want, they really are on the struggle bus because they don't know what to do with themselves because things didn't go how they wanted to. And so that's why you have to have your goals be bigger than just what you see in front of you right now, just what you're feeling right now on your journey. Bigger than just you reaching a sales goal, just you reaching a revenue goal, bigger than just you hitting a mark. You have to have a mark that then goes beyond that mark. Your reason why needs to be bigger than just you. And one of the biggest things that can help you is having your reasons why be bigger than even your own lifetime, be bigger than your own experience, something that outlives you. Something that goes far beyond your life. Have any of you thought that far ahead in the future? Now, in the short term, you're not going to take action on those massive lifetime goals, right? In the short term. But in the short term, you can point your trajectory in that direction because you know that that's where you're headed and you have each goal as a milestone. Once you hit that goal, now that's the beginning step to the next goal and the next goal, and it compounds over time. A great book on this topic is called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. It's an incredible book that I absolutely love, read it multiple times, and I highly recommend it to you. If you're somebody that's struggling with staying consistent, get it in your mind the idea of compound success, success that builds on top of each other. And then realize there may be some areas that you need to grow in personally. Some of us lack the motivation to move forward because we're seeking self-validation in our success. We're tying our worth, our self-worth to reaching a goal. And we're saying, I'll be happy when I hit that milestone. And this may motivate you in the short term. That's fine. But you will usually often return right back to where you started with that frame of thinking. When you're tying your self-worth to reaching that goal. What's going to sustain you to keep moving forward? Because this is a marathon, not a sprint. You can sprint your way to 6 figures. You can sprint your way to 5 figures. You might be able to even sprint your way to 7 figures. I've seen some people do that. You get very lucky doing that. It takes a lot of luck for that. What's luck? Luck is taking action at the right time and being in the right place and recognizing it. That's basically what it is. I love that definition of it. You recognize that you're at the right place at the right time and you take action. You got lucky. And you can reach that, but you'll usually often return. I've seen people do this. That's why I'm saying this. I've even done this myself in certain aspects of life. They reach even a 7-figure, multiple 7 figures, $5-10 million, and then they return back to making multiple 6 figures because it's outside of their comfort zone. Their reason why they were doing it wasn't bigger than them. They didn't have vision for that future. They didn't have vision. They didn't have a support system set up to keep things growing to that level. And so what you need accountability, you need a support system, and you need to have vision and clarity on why you're doing things that are bigger than just self-validation. In fact, your goal should never be to just validate yourself. You need to start at validating yourself, realizing that even if I don't succeed, I'm fully accepted, good enough. My worth is not tied to my performance. When you start there, when you start with knowing that your worth isn't tied to your performance, you are able to sustain yourself for the long haul beyond what some people may see as even humanly possible, because you're not doing it to validate yourself. You can pay to get yourself validated if you want to. Anybody can. If your goal is just to buy the sports car or to look wealthy, you'll reach that place and then fizzle back to that comfort zone. And so what keeps you from reaching and then falling back into the comfort zone is by having vision that's bigger than just validation, that's bigger than just feeling like you're worthy enough to reach that goal, and thinking about, okay, once I reach this goal, what would I like to do then? Here's a thought experiment, a thought exercise. If I had $1 million in the bank account, what would I do then? And some of you don't even know. You're just, would say I pay off bills and then just live off that. And if that's your dream, you know what? That's great. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. There's a lot of people that's their goal. And that's awesome. It's freaking awesome. It really is. I don't ever want anybody to feel like, if that's their goal, like that they're inadequate. But here's the big but to that. If you have a goal to then go further, you're going to have to shift your mindset, shift your thinking, shift your perspective on why you're doing all of this. Show up for yourself even when you don't feel like it. You're going to have to show up on the days when things aren't working out. And that's why having a support system is so important. That's why aligning your reasons why you're doing things and making them bigger than just what feels good, bigger than just self-validation, bigger than even just what you can do in your lifetime, bigger than what you can pass on to your kids. Literally. That's what will sustain you long term. And so, what are your goals? Now, I know a lot of you I've talked to, you have big vision. A lot of the people who listen to my podcast, you have a lot of big vision. And so what I notice a lot of people do is they have this really big idea out here, and then they have the micro where they're at right here, and they have trouble bridging that gap. They have trouble getting from where they are to where they want to be to that level of that goal. And so to bridge that gap, you have to stay disciplined. You have to stay consistent. I talked about that last week, is staying disciplined. Discipline is what's going to produce more financial success for you than anything else. When you can stay consistent, even when it doesn't feel good for you, that's going to produce the best results. And some of you may need to even get some help with that. There may be past experiences, past traumatic experiences that are keeping you stuck. That's why finding somebody that you can talk to, maybe even talking to a professional therapist. A website that I love is called betterhelp.com. I use that. I have a therapist on there that I talk to, where I talk through stuff. And you know what? It's helped me go further. It's helped me not be afraid to use my voice. It's helped me not be afraid to speak up. It's helped me not be more courageous and more bold with what I talk about. And boldness gets rewarded in business. When you can learn to be somebody who's bold enough to show up for yourself every single day, and you can develop habits that are profitable, profit-producing habits. The way you're living your life up to this moment in time, realize this truth, okay? The way you're living your life up to this moment in time has gotten you to where you are right now, okay? But for you to get further in life, you're going to have to live your life differently. And so you have to learn and develop new habits that are going to take you further. Financially, physically, spiritually. Any goal that you have, you're going to have to develop new habits. And what got you to where you are right now is only ever going to keep you where you are right now. And so Here's the bad news and the good news. It's all your fault and it's all your responsibility. And that's a good thing because of this. It's your responsibility to figure out what those habits are. And you have the power to change what you've been doing up to this moment in time to do something differently by finding a mentor, by finding somebody to ask for help, by humbling yourself instead of needing to be the smartest person in the room and always having the answers to everything. Instead of needing to be the person that knows everything, humbling yourself and saying, hey, listen, I don't know what to do here. And finding somebody that has walked that journey that can get you there. Now, sometimes we may not like the answers that we get along the way. And that's where sometimes we need to learn to accept them. One thing I'll recommend to you is if you're hearing the same answer constantly, stop looking for somebody else to validate the answer and the response that you want. Maybe the answer that you need is not always what you want to hear, but it's what's going to help break you through to that next level. And hopefully, listening to this podcast, you might hear some things that might challenge you, that might help you move forward, that might help you break past these plateaus. I believe that every single person, every single human, if you're listening to this podcast right now, you can develop the ability to go further than you are at right now. But it's a decision and a choice that you have to make for yourself to no longer stay right where you are today. You can either choose to stay right where you're at, complain and whine and be sad about it, or you can decide to choose to do something differently and ask for help and discover what's the path that's going to get me to the next level. Many of you, and I know this because I know that you've gotten to a certain level of success, you know what the things you need to do are. But how do you stay consistent at doing those things? That's where it becomes okay to say, hey, listen, I'm struggling with this. I need some help. And when we can admit that to ourselves and we're okay with that, when you're okay with failing, you become okay with it, you can then open up the opportunity to learn how to stay on the path that moves you forward towards your goals. I believe that anybody who's listening to this podcast right now, you don't have to stay stuck where you're at right now. You don't have to stay stuck in the cycle, the hamster wheel of a little bit of success and then back to where you're at. If you've been in that cycle for long enough, you know how painful it is. Oh, it's so painful. It really is. I get it. But you have the power to break free from it just by making the choice. There's no magic pill. There's no magic wand. There's no magic way to do it. You just have to make the decision that I'm no longer going to allow the old pattern to be my future pattern. The old patterns that got you where you are right now are not what's going to sustain you further. One of the biggest things that's going to help you with that is by identifying your reason why you're doing things and making it bigger than just what's gotten you to where you're at right now. So write it down. I want you to put this into action, starting now. Grab a notepad and write down, what are your reasons why you're building your business? And then I want you to think about, in your mind, that you've reached that goal. Close your eyes and visualize it. That you've reached that level of success, that you've reached that goal, and you're finally there. Now, your normal MO would probably be to sit back and relax and no longer do what got you there. It's most people's MO. It's okay. But what if you made a different habit and you decided to dream bigger for the future? Maybe you've been disappointed before by dreaming big. Maybe by dreaming big, you got hurt by things not turning out that way. And so you turned off that part of you. I want you to be able to reactivate that part of you that can see yourself getting to your goal and then dreaming for what you would do to go further. Start having vision for what you would do to go further. And then start making a plan that to reach that goal and then to build upon it. Start setting up an accountability system for yourself. Start reading more books and more personal development. Start working on your mindset. the mental stuff. Start working on staying disciplined and consistent at doing the activities that are going to get you there, that are going to take you to the next level. When you do this, when you develop a habit of staying consistent, when you develop a habit of expanding your reasons why you do things, when you develop the habit of showing up even when you don't feel like it, this will unlock for you the motivation that you've been looking for to keep moving forward and going to the next level. So you have a choice. You can either keep doing what you've been doing up to this moment in time, or you can develop those new habits. And that's what I'd love to help you with. That's what I do when I coach people. You can DM me. You can schedule calls with me. You can talk over Zoom. We can talk about your business and where you're at. But I only know what you disclose to me and what you tell me. I can't read people's minds. And so I'd love to talk with you, and I'd love to hear about where you're at in your business. And if you're one of my existing coaching clients, I'd love to talk about this topic and what it's going to take to get you further, to take you to the next level of things in your business. Schedule a free 15-minute call with me if you're not one of my coaching clients. We can talk about your business, what it's going to take to get you to the next level. And if you are one of my coaching clients, schedule an hour-long session. Let's talk about your business, and let's develop a plan together to take you further. We'll talk soon, everybody. Grow your life. Have a good one.